It's Cliff Gallup time. I promise you this is the easiest part. Here we have three chords: G major, C9 and D9. And basically for each of them we need to play a double stop. This double stop goes for G, this one for C9, and finally for D9. And to make the thing complete for each of the double stops, it needs to add a note on open G string. Then D9, sorry, C9. And finally D9. This open G string sounds really dissonant here, so you might want to play it as quiet as possible. I'm barely touching it with my pick. Or you might want even not play it at all with your right hand, but instead just do a pull-off to the open string. And finally, pam 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 pam. Here I probably have to mention that Jeff Beck, when he did his version of the song, he played it a little bit differently. So he didn't play the dissonant note, and the chord was something like this. G6-9 chord. So in the end his version goes probably like this. But I hear it a bit differently and I kind of can't help it, so here is my version. Oh my god, that's 125 beats per minute, and I'm keeping my metronome on 2 and 4, so actually it's doubled, so 250. And that's why my playing is a bit sloppy, but as an excuse Cliff Gallup doesn't play it like Chuck Norris either. He has some imperfections here and there hidden in the mix. Just let's dive into and see. The first 4 bars go like this. So it can be divided into 3 parts. Part number 1, quite simple, the same thing repeated 4 times. Then part 2, as a continuation of the previous one. So together part 1 and part 2. So nothing else but just groups of triplets played with pull-offs, although quite speedy. And then we have a couple of chords. Here I'm using an index finger of my right hand to help. Cliff Gallup, since he played with a flat pick, most likely used the middle finger. Something like that. And then in the next 2 bars we have this lick. let's start with a simplified version of the same. So the first two notes go on down beats, and then we have kind of a polyrhythmic pattern. Wah, da, 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 da. So that's almost it, but now let's make it kind of more Cliff Gallup-ish. And first we will syncopate the first note. Wah, da, da, da. So not wah, da, but da, 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 da. And as you immediately see, I have added a touch, pretty much unintentionally, I have added a touch of the third string here. And then just observe my right hand. Since it's an upstroke, the natural movement of the right palm goes like this. Like this. So we can use it to push the Bixby arm and immediately release it. And that's what gives you an instant Cliff Gallup vibe. So in overall, the lick sounds like this. Now the next two bars back on G chord, I know for sure what Cliff Gallup intended to play. This lick. So first we have again this Bixby trick. And from here I would call it the Cliff Gallup lick. He played it in many solos, in many songs like Pink Thunderbird, B.I. Biggie Bo 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 Bo, you name it. However, you never know how it turns out at 250 beats per minute. So what Cliff actually managed to play, well, we can only approximate that. And my approximation goes like this. So first of all, notice this a bit nasty sound of the open string, of the open first string. So that was the first part. And then, for the last part, just watch my right hand. So I'm playing here only the first three notes, then a quick slide, and a couple of hammer-ons. I do that because the next note is actually this D on the second string, so let's play it together. In fact, Cliff didn't do this kind of magic with slides and hammer-ons, so he tried to play all of the notes with his right hand. Again. So here on D we have just a couple of notes, wah, pa, da, with a hammer-on. And then the harmony goes to C, and we play this lick. So first of all, notice the same Bixby trick, a pull off, and a couple of more notes. Wah, ba, da, da, da. Let me just sing it along. Wah, da, da, wah, ba, da, da, da. And then it gets back to the triplets. Again 4 times in a row. So the whole solo all together. So it's a bit easier than the last one. The first 4 bars, G chord, one, wap, da, da, wa, da, 4 times, wa, da, wap, da, 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 da. So again we have here the same old Bixby trick, and also to mention that in the beginning there are unisons between B on 3rd string and open 2nd string. So these 4 times I mean. Again all together. So that was kind of a question, and in the next 2 bars we have, no, not an answer, but a continuation of the question. And we have here the same Bixby thing. And finally we get the answer, although a very dissonant one. Once again observe the open strings. So this next lick takes us from G to D. Da-da-da-da-da. And once again we have the same Bixby trick. That was already the next lick, also with the Bixby. And finally we are getting back to the same triplets. So the whole solo goes like this. And again, what Cliff wanted to play probably differs from what he actually played. As a guess, what he wanted to play is exactly like he started the first solo, so this thing. And for the reference, when this song was recorded by Jeff Beck, Jeff played it exactly like this. However, on the original recording we hear something different, and we can only try to approximate that, and my approximation sounds like this. So here is the difference. A lot of pull-offs and hammer-ons. However, again, it is only an approximation. Next, we have C chord, the harmony moves to C chord, and we again have a variation of the first solo. So it starts with the same Bixby trick. and then wap ta ta. So these last notes are really just ghost notes. I'm not sure those are on the original recording. Actually, I'm pretty sure those are not on the recording, but I keep them just to fill the gap. Once again, wap ta 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 ta. And we are going back to the triplets. Da 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 da. So again from C9. And then we have yet one more variation coming to D. So wap da da, wap da 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 da, and back to the triplets. So that was it. Thank you for watching and the whole solo all together.